Don't Let Me Die, a story by Ibis Hart. He was very rich, successful, and powerful. Millions knew him within and outside the country. He built empires, companies, industries, and was feared by many. But he feared only one thing: death. Chief Lawrence wanted to live forever. He felt he had not enjoyed enough wealth to die at any age, so he started working towards living forever. He first of all employed the best healthcare personnels in the world and sought advice on how he can continue living. "I don't ever want to be covered with sand beneath the ground," he always boasts. "How can I continue living and never die? Give me the best medical advice," he asked the doctors and the scientists he invited. They told him regular checkups, the best food and exercise will solve it. Chief Lawrence started following all that he was advised, and he felt good. He told his lawyers that he will not write any will for his family because he will live the longest, even longer than his children. Every day, his team of doctors came in to check every part of his body to make sure he was at his best. Then one day, he was jogging along his beautiful garden with his team of best trainers who were monitoring his heart rate at every second when he slumped. They rushed to rescue him, but he was no longer breathing. They called the team of his best doctors, and everyone arrived at once. They tried all they could, but Chief Lawrence was declared dead hours later. His first wife was informed, and within an hour, the news circulated within his wives, children, and concubines. Everyone was happy. "Take his corpse to the mortuary immediately and embalm him," the wives instructed the doctors. His wives wanted to make sure he was dead, so they quickly took him to the morgue and embalmed him. Soon they began preparations for his funeral. On the day of his burial, the 1% of the 1% in the country was invited, and his family called it celebration of life. They couldn't even wait for the burial rites to be over before calling Chief Lawrence's lawyers to draft a will. Everything was ready, and the burial celebration lasted for a week. On the day of the actual burial, which was on the 7th day, everyone lined up to read their own special eulogy about Chief Lawrence. His wives, sons, and concubines all had a lot to say about him. When it was time to lay him to rest, the coffin was covered. But as they were about to put him into the ground, Chief Lawrence started hitting the coffin. People were scared, but his family refused to run away. The people in charge of the corpse and burial wanted to open the coffin to know what was going on, but his wives vehemently refused. "Chief is dead and must be allowed to rest, Lady T," his first wife said, crying fake tears. Chief Lawrence kept boxing the coffin while they were forcefully trying to lower him to the ground. Immediately they lowered his coffin into the ground. He boxed open the coffin and shouted, "I am back." Everyone ran away and scampered to safety, including his wives. He got up stark naked and walked into his house, but right behind him were two dark figures who followed him from where he was coming from. Chief Lawrence walked into his house and wore his best robe. "Get me the press," he called his right-hand man on the phone and said. Within a few minutes, everywhere was filled with all the news stations in the country. "I want to tell the whole world that I am alive. My wives and children tried to bury me alive, but I am here. From today onwards, I denounce my wives and children. I don't ever want them close to me." His wives and children were watching him make the pronouncement on television from their various hideouts. "That is not Chief. That man can never be Chief. Chief is dead. How can someone that has been embalmed at the mortuary be alive?" "It is not possible," his first wife, Lady T, asked in surprise. But they could not talk since Chief has openly accused them of trying to take his life. His wives even met the mortuary attendants, accusing them of not embalming Chief. But they insisted that they did, and also said that Chief is not human, or that whoever woke up may not be Chief Lawrence. Chief organized a party to celebrate his coming back to life. He sacked all his doctors for being unreliable, and that he didn't need them again. The party was attended by who is who in the society, politicians, celebrities, pastors, and even leaders of other countries. The party was supposed to last through the whole night until morning. During the party, Chief Lawrence went into his room to urinate. He could not believe he was alive and stronger than ever. When he entered his toilet, one of his legs suddenly felt dead and heavy to move. He cried and was about to run out of the toilet when the second one and his both hands felt dead and decaying. He fell on the ground crying. He managed to shuffle to his bedroom on the floor. That was when he heard his laughter. One of the figures that had followed him out of the grave was laughing at him. "You came back to life and thought it was free?" the figure said, laughing at him. "I gave you life again, and you dare take all the glory? I am the greatest demon in hell. I granted your wish when you were sent to hell, to give life in exchange for your soul and the many souls you will give me." Chief Lawrence, who was so desperate, buried his face at the feet of the strange-looking figure and pleaded for mercy. "Your wish is granted, but your grave must never be empty. There must be a soul there at all times buying you more time. Any time I come and do not see a new soul there, your body will start dying off." Chief Lawrence became scared and asked, "How can I be burying someone every time on a particular grave people will notice?" The demon laughed and pointed at Chief Lawrence's coffin that was lying on the ground inside his room. "This is where you send my souls to. You must convince them to go in willingly into the coffin. I will not accept a coerced soul. Once the soul is accepted, the coffin will be returned to your grave where I will collect the soul. So any time you see a coffin here, you have just 24 hours to send a soul to me, or else you will start dying wherever you are, and it will be very painful," the demon said, and started laughing in a loud voice. "But how do I get up from here and get your soul for you?" Chief Lawrence asked the demon as he was about to leave. The demon laughed again and shouted, "You have just 1 hour to move around and find a willing soul, or you will die off in front of your guests," the demon said and disappeared. Chief Lawrence got up and ran to where his guests were drinking and dancing. He quickly whispered into the ear of one of his guests and said, "Follow me, honey. I have something to show you." The lady followed him immediately into his room. He brought out wads of thousands of dollar bills and placed on her lap. She smiled and jumped on him, but he stopped her and said, "I only need one thing from you, and I will give you lots more of this cash. I have a fantasy of seeing a woman naked inside a coffin. So go into the coffin naked for just a minute, and I will give you so much more." The lady tried to refuse and claimed she was bigger than that. "But if you will give me $500,000, maybe I will consider it," the lady said, smiling. Chief quickly wrote a check for her, and she was so happy. She put the check inside her handbag and entered the coffin. Immediately she entered, the coffin disappeared with a rush of fire. Chief Lawrence got himself and stood up feeling even stronger. He quickly took her purse and collected his check back. That was when he looked at her name and realized she was the governor's wife, and she came together with the governor. Cold chills ran down his spine. "What have I done?" he asked himself in shock. "I should have looked at who I was talking to. Desperation made me blind," he whispered. "Come to my room now," he called his right-hand man, Okechi, to his room. But before his right-hand man could get to him, he felt a hot breeze as if fire was burning behind him. He turned in fear to see the demon beside him again. "Give me another soul before daybreak, and I will make everyone forget she was ever here," the demon said, laughing at him. Chief Lawrence, who was still panicking, said, Yes, I will give you another soul now." In a hurry, he ran out of his room and headed straight to his gateman's post. His gateman, a young man of about 28 years old, who was employed by a security company, was sitting by his duty post, eating and drinking what he was given from the party. "Ha, Oga, this one you came to me, sir," the gateman said, and bowed immediately. He saw Chief Lawrence. "Follow me," Chief ordered the gateman, whose name was Ayodele. Ayodele was so happy and felt privileged. Chief took him to his room, and Ayodele was in awe of his bedroom. He was still looking up and admiring the bedroom when Chief slapped a bunch of $10,000 cash on the bed. "This is yours," Chief said with a deep frown. "For me?" Ayodele asked and knelt down. "Thank you, sir, thank you." Ayodele bent over to pick the money up when Chief said, "You just have to do one little thing for me first. Pull off your cloth," Chief said with a command. Ayodele didn't like it, but he felt he had no choice knowing how powerful and wicked Chief was. He pulled his cloth off, and Chief said, while pointing at the coffin which had already appeared, and said, "Enter the coffin and just stay for a few minutes, and the money, and even more, will be yours." Ayodele frowned and became afraid, but Chief reached for his safe and brought out another bundle of dollar bills and said, "This is also yours." Ayodele smiled and entered the coffin, and the coffin vanished within some seconds. Chief smiled and felt fulfilled. To him, Ayodele was just a nobody, and no one will ever question him about Ayodele. But Ayodele wasn't just a nobody. He was an only son of his parents who loved him so much. He goes home once a week to visit them. His parents had testified in their church when Ayodele got the job with a security company. Then weekend came, the day Ayodele was supposed to return home, but he didn't, and his number wasn't going through. "I have been trying Ayodele's number for 2 days now, and it has not gone through," Ayodele's mother said with worry over the phone to Ayodele's friend Desmond. "I have been trying his number too. The last time we talked was 2 days ago at night, when he told me his new boss, Chief Lawrence, was having a party and that the entire domestic staff were very busy," Desmond said with worry too. Desmond then promised to go to the security company where Ayodele was employed and ask about him. When Desmond asked about Ayodele at his company, the management insisted that they have never met him nor heard about him. "He never worked for us," they said. "But he was your staff working with Chief Lawrence," Desmond said while showing the management Ayodele's picture where he was dressed in the company's uniform. But they almost arrested Desmond and called Ayodele a fake employee who probably sewed their uniform to deceive people. When Desmond was leaving, a female staff that had closed and was heading home followed him closely. "Ayodele was my friend here. We worked together at a restaurant before he was sent to Chief Lawrence's residence. I think something happened to him at Chief Lawrence's house. I heard from a reliable source that he vanished during the welcoming party Chief Lawrence held last week," the lady said in fear. "They said he has not been seen since. So go there and look for him." Desmond was angry. He told a taxi to take him to Chief Lawrence Avenue. When he got there, he was not allowed anywhere close to a state gate. Desmond was sad, so he went home to Ayodele's parents and told them all that he heard. They wept bitterly. "They have hurt our son," they said. "I told him not to work for rich people," his mother cried. The next day, Ayodele's parents dressed up in their best outfit to visit Chief Lawrence's residence. They were denied access, and Chief's head of security threatened to arrest them if any of them ever showed up around the avenue again. Getting souls was very easy for Chief. Once he shows the same bunch of dollar bills to his victims, they would easily jump into the coffin for him. However, Chief, who had started feeling like someone was controlling him, woke up one morning at a refuse dump in another state, right under a billboard of him shaking hands with the state governor. He saw people looking at him and videoing him. Chief stood up in shock and ran out of the refuse dump while people videoed him and laughed. He managed to run into the nearest bank there. "Call your manager!" he shouted at the security man at the gate. When his manager arrived, Chief Lawrence was quickly taken into an office and given cloths. His right-hand man and security details eventually arrived and he was taken home. But before then, His image and all that has happened was already all over social media and major news outlets. Everyone believed he had gone mad. His wives released a statement to clear their name. We have always known that Chief Lawrence has mental illness, and whatever he said we did to him was a lie. This was also the main reason why we never wanted him to stay alone without we his wives or children. Chief is a stubborn man, but we will continue to care for him from afar. Chief's first wife, Lady T, said to the news outlet she called to interview her. Chief Lawrence, on seeing all that was happening, granted his own interview, stating that he was very much sane, and even announced that he will be hosting a 3 day party straight, and that everyone who was doubting his sanity was welcome to see how he was faring. When he was asked to explain how he was found naked in a refuse dump, he simply said it was the handiwork of his enemies. It was during his interview that Ayodel's father saw him boasting and started crying while saying, "Where is my son? What have you done to my only child?" He was crying while his wife was consoling him. Within a few minutes, Ayodel's father started holding his chest. He fell down on the ground and had a heart attack. By the time his wife was able to get him to the hospital, he had died. Ayodel's mother wept, losing her son, and now her husband was too much for her. So she started making plans on how to get to Chief Lawrence and hurt him. "Even if I die trying, I must make sure I take Chief Lawrence with me," Ayodel's mother said with tears on her face. She traveled to Ijebu, their hometown, to seek spiritual protection and advice. When she got there, the man she met, who was considered a spirit, told her that Chief Lawrence was just a corpse controlled by a demon, and that her son died because Chief used his soul to buy more time for himself. Ayodel's mother was furious. She couldn't believe her son died because of someone's greed. The only way to stop him is by sending him back to hell where he belongs. The man Ayodel's mother met said, "It will not be easy because a very powerful demon follows him about. So I will give you a certain cloth that you will wear and also cover yourself with it to be able to enter Chief's residence undetected by both humans and the demon." The cloth was brought from the world beyond, but the only problem the cloth has is that once you put it on, it will start burning and itching you. So when you wear it, you have to walk in fast and locate Chief. When you locate him, you will use this special dagger to stab him in the chest. When you do this, you will see what will happen to him, the man said to Ayodele's mother with confidence. But while you are putting on this cloth, make sure you do not speak to anyone, no matter what they tell you. Even if you see Chief, do not talk, just drive the dagger into his chest. Because if you talk, the demon will see you and recognize you as a threat, and he will do anything to kill and erase you, the man said, and handed over the cloth to Ayodele's mother. On the 3rd day of Chief's party, Ayodel's mother prepared. She wore her casual cloth to the place and waited until midnight. Since the party was all night, guests were still arriving even after 12 midnight. When she got in, everyone was looking at her smiling. Ayodel's mother didn't know that what the cloth did was to hide her true identity and gave her the appearance of a classy and a rich-looking young woman who just came for the party. She started being scared and wondering why everyone was smiling at her. "Does it mean they are seeing me? I thought I will be invincible before everyone's eyes," Ayodel's mother thought silently while standing right in front of Chief, hoping Chief will notice her. "Hello, beautiful," a man said behind Ayodel's mother. She turned around to see Chief and smiled nervously. "Come to my room," Chief said, smiling. Apparently, Chief felt he had seen his next sacrifice. When they got to his room, Ayodel's mother, who had become very uncomfortable due to the cloth, was in a hurry to stab Chief in the heart. The demon, who was always hanging around beside Chief Lawrence, was blinded by the cloth too. He could only see another beautiful human, who is oblivious of what Chief will do to her. He was eagerly waiting to collect his prize. These days, when the demon saw that Chief can submit as many souls as possible, due to his desperation to continue living, he started demanding for more souls almost every day. It began after Chief woke up at the refuse dump. Chief had cried to the demon to know why something like that would happen to him, even though he has been doing exactly what the demon asked of him. The demon laughed and told Chief that he only wanted to show him that something like that or worse will happen to him anytime he flaunts any of his orders. So Chief was ready to do anything for the demon, and he was enjoying it. The casket has been set. The demon was waiting and smiling. Chief Lawrence only needed to bring his magic wads of dollar bills. Iodel's mother was simply smiling and refused to talk. She could see everything clearly: the casket, the demon standing beside the casket, Chief Lawrence in his true form. He was just a skeleton dressed in agbada. Iodel's mother had to endure the discomfort from the cloth and waited for the right moment to strike. Chief brought out the same bundle of cash and placed it on the bed. "This is for you," he said to the disguised Iodel's mother. "If you do what I will ask of you, I will give you more of this," Chief said, smiling. Mama Iodel faked a smile, but didn't talk. "You don't talk? Are you dumb?" Chief asked, still smiling. Iodel's mother then put her hand inside her purse. Chief thought she wanted to bring out her phone, but she brought out her knife and launched it straight towards Chief's heart and missed. Chief shouted and his men ran to the door to know what was happening, but found the door locked. The demon couldn't attack Iodel's mother directly because he had no contact or agreement with her, so he entered into Chief, making Chief twice stronger and powerful. But before the demon could settle well inside Chief to act, Iodel's mother succeeded in stabbing him on the chest. Immediately she stabbed him. The demon let out a strange cry, and Chief Lawrence turned into dust, and the dust appeared right inside his coffin. The coffin also became visible so anyone can see it. On hearing Chief scream, his men brought an iron rod to break the door. They started hitting the door harder, but it refused to open because it was an iron door. Iodel's mother still didn't remove her cloth. She didn't want to be recognized even if she were to be seen, so she climbed the window and looked down. It was a one-story duplex. She had to jump or be killed like her son. She threw some of the pillows down and jumped on them. When she got to the ground, she removed the cloth because it was already burning her like a real fire. Iodel's mother walked out of the gate in tears of victory and fulfillment. By the time Chief's men opened the door, she had gone very far. They saw the coffin and became confused. "When did Chief buy a coffin this big? I even entered here this evening," his right-hand man asked in disbelief. They couldn't see Chief, but they saw the cloth he was wearing on the ground. They saw traces of dust on the ground and followed it to the coffin. When they opened the coffin, they saw dust and Chief's head resting on it. "Check the CCTV now. We need to know who did this to Chief." When they checked, they saw the disguised young, beautiful Iodel's mother. But when she jumped out of the window, they saw an older woman who was dressed in rags. They saw her real face. "We got her. She is a witch and has done something to Chief. Call the police. We need to catch her fast to come and reverse whatever she did to him." So the next day, the two images of Iodele's mother, the image of where she was coming in with Chief into Chief's room, and when she jumped out of Chief's window, were all over the news. Because there was no CCTV inside Chief's room, no one knew what happened. 2 days later, Ayodel's mother was sitting in her small shop, not knowing that she was a wanted person, when a black SUV stopped in front of her shop and whisked her away. Open your eyes now, Ayodel's mother heard a soft female voice say to her. Ayodel's mother opened her eyes to see the face she had seen on television severally before. Chief Lawrence's first wife, Lady T. She started pleading and crying. Chief killed my only child, she cried. He was not even human. I had to send him back to where he came from. Ayodel's mother was still talking when she heard, "Thank you so much for what you have done for us. Chief was not human at all. He is dead and should remain dead. He was using innocent souls to buy more time for himself, including your son's soul. That is why we are grateful to you. You sent him back to where he belongs. But you cannot be alive anymore. We heard that his rotten remains is still inside the mysterious coffin in his bedroom, and they need your blood to revive it and bring Chief back to life, and we cannot allow it," Lady T said, frowning. "We would have simply killed you, but we don't even want to risk them finding your corpse and using it in any way to bring Chief back. Chief ruined the life and reputation of his children and we, his wives, so don't blame us for wanting him gone and forgotten." Lady T continued talking and frowning. Ayodel's mother continued pleading and said, "What if I travel back to my village where no one can find me and hide? I don't want to die meaninglessly, please," she cried. Lady T agreed to send her to another country immediately. "You will go to another country with a changed identity." Ayodel's mother chose Ghana, saying that her younger sister lives in Ghana with her family. That same night, Lady T and their children smuggled Ayodel's mother out of the country. Immediately she left, they all marched with the police to Chief's mansion to arrest his men and accuse them of harming Chief. But when they entered Chief's room to carry his coffin, they saw Chief in the mirror, begging them to wake him up and promise them all his wealth, saying if they bury him like that, he will be a wandering soul without finding rest. "The demon deceived me," he said. "The demon made me to believe I was indestructible so far as I was giving him new souls any time he needed it. His wives buried him quietly without any ceremony. The demon tried everything to resurrect Chief but failed. His wives sold his mansion and some of his properties. They made sure he was totally forgotten. No matter how rich and powerful we think we are, we can never cheat death. Being desperate could make you lose yourself."
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.